Recording progress.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Jaws Diet by Jennifer A. Whitaker. The show is a part of the World of Ability podcast, and special thanks to Marcus, Jay, Zach, and Lawrence for allowing us to have this on their platform. Encourage everybody to check out all of our social media, and now I'm going to pass it over to Jen to get us started.
Thank you, Emily, and welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning in or watching this at a later time when it's convenient for you. For those of you who may not have seen this before, the Jaws diet is a healthy eating diet that is gluten-free, soy-free, egg-free, and dairy-free. I personally designed this because of having all 4 allergens myself. So I've had to find ways to eat healthy and at the same time stay free of those 4 allergens. So in this show, we each episode introduce you to different foods that are made free of those 4 allergens. And some of them, like the Made Good brand we showed you in one of our recent episodes, actually have more than just a healthy lifestyle. And so if you haven't checked out some of our prior episodes, please be sure to do so, because all the different items we have mentioned in our episodes, even if it's stuff already made, like the nutritious bars of the No Cow brand and the Made Good bars and so forth, it's all allergen free, and some of it's free of more than just our 4 allergens. That said, today we're going to possibly have somebody join in, but for now, I'm going to get you started on today's recipe. For many of us, we like, especially those of us from the South, we love coleslaw. However, mayo alone, or mayonnaise, whichever you use, has at least egg, if not milk, in it. That said, I'm going to show you a healthy alternative to coleslaw. Coleslaw is based on using shredded cabbage. However, cabbage is considered a carbohydrate. So today I'm going to talk to you about using So today I'm going to talk to you about using still blurry. Broccoli slaw. This is kind of like coleslaw as far as you may see different shreds, but in this case, it's so you're basically finding a more traditional way, via coleslaw in this case, of eating broccoli. That, as traditional as it is to eat coleslaw, a lot of us don't have any problems eating it as long as it's allergen free. And looking on the back, the broccoli alone has 7% fiber, 0 added sugar, 2 grams of protein, 4% of calcium, 4% of iron, 6% of potassium, only 1% of sodium, 0 cholesterol, and 0 fat. while 1 cup of this slaw has only 25 calories. Okay, so then you're asking me, how do you make broccoli slaw into coleslaw? Well, going back to the mayonnaise problem, I found Hellman's vegan, they call it dressing and spread, but it's basically mayo made plant-based. So it's basically mayonnaise by Hellman's that's vegan, or in other words, it's free of gluten, soy, milk, and egg. And this is what I use as my mayo-based substitute. And then after you have mixed, I say about 2 tablespoons, not smooth, but like lumps, big spoonful lumps of mayo. This vegan dressing spread into this broccoli slaw that's in a some kind of bowl of some sort for mixing. Then add, I would say, at least 3 stevias. That's 3 of these little packs to your mix, and you can accommodate it by adding more of the vegan dressing spread and or more of the stevia as you find need, so you can adjust it to your own taste and preference. However, those are the basic ingredients to making what's broccoli based, so it's high fiber and healthy, as opposed to carb based, which is using regular coleslaw or cabbage based vegetable, and still being free of gluten, soy, milk, and egg. Any questions, anybody? Kurt, are you still here? Kurt, are you still here? Emily, are you with me?
Yep, and then we have Beth Shapiro on here too.
Really? I'll see her.
Yeah, she's on Zoom.
Oh. Would you put her in here then?
I can't have to give her the link and everything then. But unless if I do this. Unless if I do this. But she just came in, so she didn't hear anything of what you said.
Sure, I'll let her know what I just introduced.
All right, hi Beth. We are doing a podcast right now. Jennifer A. Whitaker. Beth?
Yep.
We are doing a podcast right now. But Jen, do you have anything you want to introduce yourself, anything like that?
Yeah, well, can you put her on StreamYard so we can see her and see who we're talking to?
I can't do that, Jen, since she's on Zoom and we're on stream. She's in Zoom and you're on StreamYard. So that means I have to give her the link, and I don't know if she can get in.
Okay, I do it on my phone.
Yes, go to the link that's at the top
I
of the.
couldn't get the link
Like the
to work on the computer. Wait, but I couldn't get the link to work on the computer.
Oh, you didn't download. You weren't able to download it. You were able to download it. Club Deck.
Yes, I was able to download it, but I can't connect to you Zoom on the computer.
You go to the same link. It's the same way you get into your phone.
On Clubhouse then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll just use whatever is left in my phone battery.
Oh, she's actually not on Clubhouse right now, Jen. She's on Zoom. The ability now Zoom.
Okay, so what I was just introducing, he says Miss Beth. Is that the right name?
Beth, yes.
Yep.
Okay, so I was telling all of our listeners about a healthy alternative to coleslaw, because the Jaws diet is basically a what many doctors say is very nutritious and healthy way of eating that's free of gluten, soy, milk, and egg, which are my personal 4 allergens. And so a lot of people just want to develop this show. Well, what in the world do you eat? So I was telling listeners, I don't know if can you see me?
No, she cannot see you. Because you're in two separate things.
Miss Beth, can you see?
No, she cannot see you.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what I was telling our listeners, thank you, Emily. What I was telling our listeners about Miss Beth is Hellman's vegan dressing and spread, which is like mayo, but it's vegan, so it does not have egg or milk, which are the 2 main allergens in mayo or mayonnaise. And this was called broccoli slaw, which are shredded pieces of broccoli that you can use. And I was telling my listeners about using to make basically coleslaw, but it's broccoli based instead of cabbage. So you've got a fiber as opposed like a green vegetable to a carbohydrate as your base. And then using stevia as a healthier alternative to sugar. So would you tell it?
That makes sense. That makes sense because I
what you do and what you have to add about healthy eating?
Yeah. I know you were talking about not using milk, but I digest grass milk better than I do grain milk. So it makes sense what you're saying.
Well, we're talking about those that have allergies. So if it's an allergy, they can't have it at all.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I have allergies to some foods. Yeah.
Because that's why I started off with how this is a diet free of the 4 major allergens: gluten, soy, dairy, and because I personally, those are my allergens, so I can't have them. It's not a matter of the preference. It's a matter of my body cannot digest it without having some kind of serious reaction. The whole reason for the show is that a lot of people ask me, well, what? So that's exactly what the show is about. The stuff that I eat that's allergen free, but it's also a healthy diet. Does that help clarify?
Yeah, no, I understand. I have allergies to food too, just not milk.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you do consume milk. Is milk one of your allergens?
No, she said she has allergies to other foods, but not milk is not one of them.
Well, I was saying that we do gluten, soy, milk, and egg avoidance. So what
Yeah, she's saying
are your
Jen, she
allergens,
says
Liz?
she has food allergies too, but milk is not one of, or your dairy is not one of them, one of her allergies.
Right, so I just asked her what
Okay.
are her allergens.
So Beth, what kind of foods are you allergic to?
Corn, acids. I'm allergic to like turmeric, tannic, just all acids and chemicals in food, chemicals in the environment. I'm allergic to yeast. And I could have some egg because I have a hard time digesting eggs sometimes. But I can eat things on a rotation like and so I'm like allergic to tomatoes too.
Did you say paleo diet or keto diet?
Rotation diet.
Oh, tomatoes. Oh. So would you tell our listeners
Yeah, rotation
what are
diet.
some of the, now that we know your allergens, what are some healthy foods you recommend eating if they have any of your kind of allergies?
Flax or flax oil, flaxseed, maca, let's see. Oregano is very healthy.
I know maca's often used to make. Wait, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, no, maca's often used to make tea. What do you do with it?
Sometimes use it in smoothies, but I think there's other things you can do with it. Somebody who I found very helpful is somebody named Megan Telfner. She's out of Canada, and she has some good recipes, and she also sells some things. But I don't know if she's a dietitian or a nutritionist, but she's really good.
Yeah, when you work with Emily and try to, yeah, she'd be another great person to add to the recommended healthy eating. So, what were some of your other ingredients that you focused on with your diet, and some ideas of what to make out of them, like how to use them?
I put flax oil on yogurt. Well, I can eat dairy. Can Emily not eat dairy?
So we avoid gluten, soy, milk, and egg. And milk is dairy, so in other words, yogurt and stuff like that we cannot have on because of the allergens we focus on this show.
Coconut. Can you have coconut?
Yes, whether it's actual coconut fruit or it's dried coconut, like the snack that you get in the freezing aisle, or it's say coconut milk. Like let's say, as some of us would use coconut milk as the milk replacement for say a coffee on a latte or something. Because yes, that doesn't fall in dairy, gluten, soy, or egg.
Right. Coconut dairy, you could get some yogurt made with coconut and put some flax oil on it or some flax powder. That would be a really healthy way to get your EFAs, your essential fatty acids, which we need. You can also do it in smoothies. You can also put it on your salad. It sounds kind of weird, but it has kind of a nutty taste. And so it's really good in salads.
Do you mean the coconut milk, or do you mean the what sounds like a coconut milk-based yogurt? Which I was wondering if it's maybe the So Delicious or the Daya brand that you're talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Of the yogurt.
Yeah, I'm sorry if that was confusing. I meant the flax seed and the flax powder you could put in salad.
So personally, I really love
but the coconut
salad when we have
with. Well, the coconut milk you could use in smoothies too.
And that actually drains right in there. Oh, this one.
When you were
And you
talking
can
about
use it in cooking.
When you talk about the seeds that you put on, or the coconut flakes or whatever that you're talking about putting on your salad, I gotta say, that sounds pretty delicious, because like I personally love to have roasted pine nuts on my salad. It gives a crunch to this salad.
Yeah, that's good too. That's really good. Do you like peppers?
Do you mean the kind of nut? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Well, caper isn't a nut, it's a flower, and you can use that in salad too. It's kind of salty, but it's good with fish,
A flour?
if you can eat fish.
Flour? Like it is it
Caper.
baking flour, or what kind of flour?
Caper. I'm not sure. I don't know, but it's just it looks like a ball, but it's a type of flour. I haven't researched it that much.
But does it like, is it like, are you saying how it's grown as the flour, but it's actually like this brown thing we often see at buffets, like salad buffets?
I really can't answer that. I suppose we could Google it. I can Google it. Do you want me to do that?
Sure. And maybe read what you find
Okay.
that describes what it is.
Yes.
So I wonder how many of our listeners also are kind of wondering, well, what exactly is that? Even though it may be a great idea, right?
Okay, it says capers come from a prickly bush called Compare spinosa that grows wild across the Mediterranean and parts of Asia. The capers we see in, let's see what else it says. If you've ever followed a chicken piccata recipe, you know that capers are indispensable for finishing the dish. Named from the mysterious jars in the pickle aisle that contain these pea-sized green orbs. But what is a caper? Let's explore. The capers we see in the grocery store are the ripened green flower buds of the plant. Once they're picked, the immature buds are dried and then preserved. They can be cured either in salt or pickled in brine, which is what gives capers a trademark savory, briny flavor profile. The taste of caper is reminiscent of the lemony tang and brininess of green olives, but with a smack of floral tartness all their own. Because they're packed in brine, capers also boast a salty, savory flavor profile. So does that kind of give you an idea? They're used in Mediterranean cuisine, particularly in seafood dishes such as baked fish and pasta sauces, such as prosciutto sauce. But they also add a briny, savory, lemony hit to all kinds of dishes, like chicken piccata. They also provide a tangy counterpart to rich dishes such as hearty stews, lamb, and you don't want this, but or cheese. They're often served with appetizing spreads and to garnish bagels, cream cheese, and again, you don't want that, and lox. They're finely chopped. They bring a bright briny backbone to tapenade. So we get an olive tapenade. Sauces, dressings, and compound butters. They can also be fried to create a crispy garnish. They come in different varieties according to size. They include nonpareils, which are about a fourth of an inch wide or 7 millimeters in diameter, and come from the South of France. You'll also see them labeled as French nonpareils. This is also tend to have a flavor, texture, as if they tend to be more prized and have a higher price tag to match. And it kind of goes on from there. Does that kind of give you an idea?
Yeah. I'm starting to think I've seen them at East Cafe or something like that, or Cafe East. Do you know what chain I'm talking about? Or maybe that wasn't the name, but there's a chain that's predominantly serves salads that I think I've seen it at. So what are some other ideas you have? Because I'm sure you've got some people looking at capers as a possible topping or cooking ingredient to say add to their seasonings for or baked meat or hand browned meat, using olive oil instead of butter because of the allergens. So, and in some cases also has soy
What
or
about
egg,
safflower
depending
oil?
on the brand.
What about safflower oil? Safflower oil?
Yeah. So sunflower oil is great in replacement of butter. So is olive oil. I know that vegetable oil has soy, so that's why I don't recommend it. Plus, there's modern day researchers finding this stuff like olive oil and like maybe like you're saying sunflower oil are better for our health than vegetable oil. Even for those of us that don't have the allergens. But to say that you know people that use this capers as a topping on their meats that they bake or that they pan brown using sunflower oil or olive oil as the basic replacement of butter. And then maybe, was it maca? Was that the other one?
It might even be good with
The other
brown
seedling-
rice.
Oh, you said maca would be?
That was kind of choppy.
So was it maca, or what was the earlier seasoning? And I asked about bean and tea. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know about tea, but what about tea?
I asked, so was the other ingredient you talked about maca that I talked about bean and tea? Was that called maca?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So with this cooking, then people could also season their meat, or like you said, the rice that they boil in the pot of water, so then it gets allergen free. With maca, like you said, the rice would be great with maca on it, and then the grilled, pan browned, or baked meat would be great with the capers as a seasoning.
Yeah, that might be interesting. Garlic would be good. Oregano would be good. Maybe like a spicy seasoning, not too spicy, but it could be Cajun or it could be just a little bit Cajun.
You say Cajun, I think of cayenne pepper.
What's that?
When you say Cajun, I think of cayenne pepper.
Yeah, I was trying to think of people from Louisiana. What do they call it? I don't know. I
Alligator,
think
maybe?
it's too.
I know Louisiana, they eat alligator, and they also eat crab legs.
Alligator. No. I'm trying to think. What are their people called? There's a spice like
They're
that.
Cajun.
Huh?
I just know them as Cajuns, but I'm next door in Texas.
Oh, Cajun. Yeah, Cajun spices. Cajun spices would be good. Or maybe even Chinese spices would be good. Like ginger.
Well, Chinese spices might not
whatever.
necessarily, because Chinese often cook with soy, and then again, that's one of our allergens we have to avoid.
No. But the spices don't use soy. It's like ginger and other stuff. No soy.
Oh, so you're
Not
saying
soy
they're
sauce.
pulling the soy from Cajun food mainly comes from soy sauce, right?
Right. I'm not talking about soy sauce. I'm talking about the spices, something you sprinkle on. That doesn't have
Right,
any
I didn't
soy.
realize that the spices were soy free, because there's usually like excessive amounts of soy on almost anything Chinese, if you go to a restaurant at least, and that's why you just taught me something
Well,
new.
the funny thing about it don't really use soy. It's an American thing, I think. Because if you go to China, they don't do that. And when I talk to the Chinese, they say they don't do that.
Well, I'm kind of reaching out to the everyday Americans, and for the everyday Americans, if you go to a Chinese restaurant, it's loaded with soy. And And there's some Chinese restaurants where I don't even have options to eat because they don't have anything made out of soy.
I was talking about, yeah, I was talking about cooking at home.
Like that's what I'm saying is there could be other people with that confusion because of the way that restaurants trend in the US. You see what I mean? So I was trying to give the confused the big
I do see what you
question
mean.
and then answering it with clarity from your response.
Well, if you go to a restaurant, you can just tell them you don't want soy sauce. That's what I do.
Well, you can say that, but what I said was that there are some restaurants, and I live in Houston. You probably know how big that is to wonder why there are restaurants like the ones I've been to that do not make anything without soy sauce. As far as, which is why I generally don't advise Chinese food, because there are a lot of Chinese restaurants that have told me they can't make anything without soy sauce.
It wasn't advice, it's just an idea. Yeah.
It's still a top thing that's then again goes to the soy allergy that I often cannot eat Chinese because of it not being made without soy. But I want listeners to hear what they may experience that I do, and in your clarification that doesn't mean that they can't eat Chinese food made at home by just simply not putting the soy sauce on, but otherwise using did you call it Cajun seasoning or Chinese seasoning? Did you call it Chinese seasoning, or what do you call it seasoning that the Chinese use?
Oh, here's DJ Jen.
Hey, DJ.
Hi, so sorry about that. It didn't populate my calendar.
Interesting. Emily is
She must have stepped away. She's still on Zoom. She's still on Zoom, but she has her mic open, so she must be doing something else.
Oh, okay. Well, we were just talking about food options for people with gluten, soy, milk, and egg allergies. And I can't remember her name now. I'm so sorry, but the lady I was just speaking with that's in the background. She's talking to us about how you can make Chinese food at home and it be soy free. And I found that interesting because I was telling her how, in this show, it's about people like myself with those four allergens: gluten, soy, milk, and egg. And at least locally in the Houston area, I can't really go to any Chinese restaurant without them having soy sauce on it, on all of the dishes. And they're like, "I'm sorry, we can't make anything free of that. But I'm sorry, we can't serve you."
Yeah.
And she was about how okay, so that's not just me.
Nope.
She was talking about how we can make the Chinese food at home and leave off soy. Because she was saying about some kind of seasoning doesn't involve soy, and it's only the sauce.
Yeah,
So that's where we
most of
look
the dark sauces that they use to make Chinese food either have soy or they have gluten. So you would either have to go with like an oyster sauce or something similar.
Okay, so see, so what she was telling us was that it's soy free, but you're saying that the Chinese seasoning has gluten.
Most of it does, yeah. So if you're celiac, like the processed Chinese food is not something that you can do, but yes, if you make it at home from scratch, you can, but who has the time to do that? I don't know, I don't.
I was wondering, but she was saying that if we make Chinese food at home, we can eat it without having gluten, soy milk, or egg. And I was thinking that say stir fry because you got the I mean, it wouldn't be always stir fry because it would have the soy sauce, but you got the gluten free and the allergen free rice, and then you've got the different meat. Like if you do really fine chopped pork or some other meat, and then you've got the different vegetables you put in, like broccoli, carrots, whatever other vegetables. Like in that case, stir fry. But some people may consider that more of a Japanese than a Chinese. But if you just leave off the soy sauce, then at least the way I know how to make it, it is allergen free.
Well, in some, there are some, what is it, tamari, which tastes similar to soy sauce that doesn't have gluten, but I don't know if it has soy.
Well, there's if you want to give some tips, I'll be right back with this tab that's soy-free soy sauce. Like it has flavor, but it doesn't have the actual allergen.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Well, you talk
I'm fairly, I was gonna say, I'm fairly new to having to be completely gluten-free because of celiac.
Right.
And I have been mostly disappointed, especially if you're going out to eat. It gets so difficult because like you can go into a restaurant and they'll say, well, we can do anything gluten-free, just let us. While still cooking it in the same kitchen, you're gonna have cross-contamination. So if you're soy intolerant, meaning that, you know, it bothers you, but it's not an allergy, which physically affects you, most of the time you'll be fine. However, the more you expose yourself to that allergen, the more severe your reaction is going to become. And I've had that issue recently where I almost ended in the hospital with such a bad cross-contamination. So, you know, unfortunately, the onus is on us as the people that have that allergy to do our due diligence before we go. I typically have it so that I just don't, I'll eat before I go to a restaurant. I'll eat at home, go to the restaurant. If they have something that I can eat, then, you know, great. And if not, no worries. I watch everybody else enjoy their food. But those restaurants that truly take allergies seriously and have like a separate kitchen, the chef has to change their jacket, gloves, everything, hairnet before walking into the kitchen. And when they walk out, changing back again. That's the kind of restaurant that you want to be supporting. But know that your food's going to take longer than it is. So either ask them to make sure that, you know, your gluten-free meal is coming out at the same time, which is going to hold everybody else up. But you really need to understand that they thoroughly clean between every gluten-free meal they prepare, and a separate server will bring that out to you. And I really appreciate going to restaurants like that, even though it may take 45 minutes for me to get my meal and everybody else is finishing. They're not going to take me to the hospital. They really care about my health. So I make sure that
they can disagree because one of us, like I said, that ends up in the emergency room for the slightest exposure. That's also in a way taking care of your health and your life.
exactly.
Because like especially those that have anaphylaxis, if I say it right.
Yeah.
Because like mine, I was tested and mine's not celiac disease or any of that kind of stuff. But my primary care was really quick to test me for that when he heard about my gluten allergy, but I don't have those. But mine is a digestive reaction that can have me, only go to the bathroom once every 3 weeks if I eat it regularly. So in that case, it's as far as it's coming up and ended up really sick and ill, it is serious. But like, if I just have a small amount for, say, just dessert or just one meal, and be only 1 day for every week, then I have a reaction, but I can take medicine that treats the reaction. But like, if I have that reaction to every single meal, then you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's when it turns into an allergy rather than just being intolerant. And
Mom's a registered nurse, but my doctor says it's an allergy, and my mom's like, "Oh no, it's not an allergy. Or you'd be having sinus and these kind of reactions versus the digestive kind." I'm like,
no, that's not true.
different people react different, Mom.
Yeah. She's thinking of allergies like seasonal allergy kind of stuff. You can have an allergy.
Exactly.
Like I can't have what's the antibiotic that everybody prescribes? Penicillin. You give me penicillin, I stop playing. That's an allergy. That's an allergic reaction.
See, penicillin is what caused my epilepsy. That's why I'm considered one of the worst 30 cases in the country of epilepsy.
Mm.
And it was caused by penicillin in my DTP shot.
That's crazy.
So I don't really know life without epilepsy and without being so severe that I'm considered disabled and so forth, because I can't even regularly show up for whatever are my obligations, as far as whatever kind of work I do. But it's because I was exposed to penicillin in my DTP shot, and that's what caused what they define as being progressively worsening with age epilepsy. So I was having anywhere from 1 to 10 to even 15 seizures a day before I ended up at the point of brain surgery after I failed all other treatments, every medication on the market, all other surgeries, and finally they came to the point to rip up my brain. And now I'm in
and I think that the onus really is on each of us individually to stand up for ourselves and learn about those things that are right for us versus those things that are not right for us, and just not taking a physician's word at face value, because and not always to their detriment. I mean, they are making analysis and diagnosis based on the information that you gave them. So oftentimes we'll walk in and maybe it's only one piece of the equation that really bothers us, and that's what we share. And we share everything else because we don't think that it's important. We told them, in addition to getting completely bloated, having pain worse than childbirth, and having it cause you such a severe headache, you might think that, well, the severe headache isn't part of that. So I'm only going to talk about the bloating and the abdominal pain and anything that's due to that. And based on that, they're going to go down a certain path. But if you told them, I also have these massive migraine-like headaches that come on at the same time, and as soon as all the other symptoms go away, the headache goes away too, they may say, oh my God, it's totally not what I was just talking about. It's this, because that's a key piece of.
You raise an interesting point, because I also have migraines. So because of my migraines and epilepsy, I have to avoid other things that are not allergens, but are things I can't tolerate. Like they used to call it aspartame, but I don't even know how to say the new word. Phenol something.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that
Like
is.
feels on Coca-Cola Zero or Coke Zero, whatever they call it. It's PAG and something, but that's a modern day word for aspartame.
Oh goodness.
Just like it before, it was called NutriSweet.
Yep.
So anyways, that's a modern day word for aspartame. And like aspartame is one thing that will onset my seizures, but it also onsets my migraines and other things like that. That's where they don't consider an allergy because of like what we were talking about, what reactions. But it's still something I can't have, so I totally understand.
Mm.
And I hate to say this, but we're at 50 minutes, so we need to start doing our closing. Would you be willing to share your name, any contact information interested in possibly connecting with you? Because I think you said you're a dietitian, right?
No, I'm not a dietitian. I am a host of a podcast called Advantages to Aging. I'm also a founding brand partner with Neora, which is
Okay.
all plant-based, age-defying skincare, hair care, wellness, and weight management. And I just happen to be gluten intolerant or have a gluten allergy.
Okay, well, definitely you're a great source for this show, Dan, and we'd love to have you on another Monday. But if people are interested in learning about you and what you do, will you share your name and information where they can reach you?
Sure. Is there a place you want me to share it or just speak it?
Verbally?
Yes.
Speak it.
It's DJ Horton. You can reach me through my website, Advantages to Aging, ADVANTAGESTOAGING.com. It's not the number 2, it's a TO. Advantages to Aging. And the podcast can be heard on most channels as well. And that's the best way to get a hold of me.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, we'd love for you to book to be on our, to use our Calendly and to be on our show again, talking about gluten stuff again. And same to the lady in the background that's on Ability Now Zoom, Emily, if she can still hear us.
No, she's gone.
Okay,
She's
well,
not on
Emily,
Zoom
if you
anymore.
just reach out to me and I'll schedule. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Ms. Stephen. Emily, do you or Kurt have any announcements in our last few minutes?
Not sure about. Not
Okay, then I'll go ahead
here.
with mine. To all the viewers out there, if you'd like to help raise funds for us to produce more audiobooks, more podcasts, and help support our organization, please go to Facebook and look up in the group search Jen's Books and More 31 Fundraiser. That's JENNS books, the and symbol, not the word. MORE 31 fundraiser. And it will say April 1st through April 12th. And you have to first go to facebook.com or go under group and then search for Jen's Books and More 31 fundraiser, which will say it's April 1st through 12th of 2023. If you don't make it in time, we will be having this again in October. But please go ahead and subscribe to that group so we can continue to bring you more podcasts, books, audiobooks, and so much more. If you would like to be on this podcast or see what else we have to offer, please go to linktr.ee/Jaws Coffee Chat. That's linktr.ee/JAWS Coffee Chat. If you would like to join a women's Bible study, entrepreneur networking group, and so much more, please go to aspirewomenforexcellence.com. That's ASPIRE Women FOR Excellence. and that's the Bible study by Lady Kendra. This is where you'll also find me. It's where I go for doing my Bible studies, networking, and other ways related to both professionally and personally being Christ into the way I do business, the way I run my life in general, even in personal life, and so much more. Though we do not require anybody to be of any certain faith to watch our podcast. And if you'd like to see what all we have to, please go to our website, Books and More by JenniferAWhitaker.com. Books, ANDMORE by Jennifer A. WHITAKER.com. And that's our website where you'll find more about our podcast as well as books and other things we have to bring to the table. And wherever you found this, listen or watch this, please be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app to Jaws Coffee Chat, JAWS Coffee Chat. And that's our podcast channel for this episode and other episodes of Jaws Diet and other shows we bring you. Back to you, Emily.
You can also contact us through gmail.com for any questions, comments, concerns, and so on. Through jawscoffeechat@gmail.com. We are here every Monday at 9 a.m. Central Time. I encourage everybody to join us or tune in whenever your schedule allows. Again, thanks to Marcus Hart of Transforming Media, Jay Stoyan of the Disability Channel, Zach Clayton of the PEC Channel, and Lawrence Wingate of Wingate Studios for allowing us to have this on the platform. And so on behalf of Jen, John, Kurt, myself, and the rest of the World of Ability Podcast Network, we wish you a safe and productive week and to stay happy.
Recording stopped.